It's Saturday evening, and this is not your normal weekend. My friend Kyle and I, Kyle, say hi, he's behind the camera.
Hello.
We're out here in northeastern California looking for a new pack of wolves.
Either a coyote or a wolf within the first 10 minutes of getting on the bikes.
This isn't our first time looking for wolves, and this isn't our first time roaming around doing our best to film and tell stories about wildlife, wild places, and conservation as part of our new online show called Where the Wild Roam. We saw a wolf. We saw a wolf right in this meadow where I'm standing. I got pretty big hands, and that's the wolf track. And if you look, you got at least one animal here, right? You got a second animal here, and we're gonna go back and follow these tracks and see where they go right now. And they probably go right by the camera we set up. We created Where the Wild Roam totally on our own. We're self-taught, we're self-funded, and we're self-motivated. And the motivation for us is very clear. We're both dads now. We have two beautiful, smart, awesome little daughters. And our hope is that 20, 30, 40 years from now, our daughters and all daughters and sons are gonna get the chance to experience wildlife and wild places just as we have while making this show. Making Where the Wild Roam is a true pleasure of Kyle and I's. It's been extremely fun, and we've seen some beautiful places and met some really knowledgeable people. But it's also been very, very challenging. And the wolf story that we're telling out here exhibits all the challenges that we face in almost every story we go to. For example, right now, it's late September. And the wolf pups in this pack have fully matured. They can now join their adult parents and the other members of the pack to take advantage of the full extent of their summer range. That summer range is about 245 square miles. That's a giant landscape. How are we gonna come out here and try and film and find wolves in 245 square miles? So far, our plan, and it's kind of working, has been as follows. First, we research wolf habitat and where wolves live. And we're here in one pack's territory. This is wolf country. I will say that wolves do share Kyle and I's taste in country, because wolf country is pretty aesthetic. What do you think, Kyle? I mean, look at this place. There's nobody out here. Next, because we can't film everywhere, we search for the best places to put out wildlife camera traps. Those wildlife camera traps get to sit out and get videos of things like wolves and all kinds of other wildlife when Kyle and I can't. And last, while we're out here enjoying this beautiful landscape, we're constantly glassing all the prime habitat spots to hopefully get a wolf on camera. It's actually worked in the past as well. That's a wolf right there in that meadow. Luckily for us, in the wolf story, and actually the past couple stories we've been trying to tell, we've had a lot of help from UBCO.
Where are we going?
Deschutes River.
Pretty cold. Way colder than we thought it was gonna be.
And it really makes our storytelling much more efficient and honestly, a little more fun. Let me walk you through it real quick. First of all, we can cover way more terrain on the UBCOs while carrying all the equipment it takes to tell video stories.
Just arrived. Beautiful morning.
We got safety gear. I got lunch. Actually, it's dinner for Kyle and I in a moment. We have our camera tripod. I have my actual camera right here. Kyle has all of his gear. Look at this. The Peak Design Cube fits perfectly in the Peak Design saddlebag. So we see a wolf, ready to shoot instantly. Second, we get to do so quietly. If we were banging down the road here in the truck, we're gonna scare all the wildlife away for miles. The fact that we can be quiet and enter that prime habitat undetected gives us an advantage to film wildlife and see wildlife as we move across this landscape.
What are we looking at?
Got some cranes out on the valley floor, sandhill cranes. Wolf country is also just rich in biodiversity, beautiful places, and we've just seen so much wildlife throughout the life of this project. We're also emitting less carbon into the atmosphere, which is bad for wolves, us, and pretty much all the wildlife out here in the long run. When you put that all together, that means we can tell more conservation stories and have more of an impact in the limited time we have available to do so. We want to thank UBCO, and we hope you tune in to Where the Wild Roam. Kyle, we gotta go. We're losing daylight here. Seriously, we gotta go, man.
Where the Wild Roam is hosted by Joe Flannery.
My grandfather was a park ranger. My parents were both park rangers. I was the third generation. I've been lucky enough to spend my entire life outdoors, learning and working in conservation. And I'm excited to share that knowledge with you.
With Kyle Lancaster.
Lately, we've been getting into conservation filmmaking. We believe that a conservation ethic begins with education and understanding. Never stop learning about the natural world.
And hey, if you like the show, please support, share, subscribe, follow, like, and all that stuff. Let's start a movement that prioritizes wildlife, wild places, and conservation within our daily lives.